Welcome back to Behind the Bar with Paul Starr. We're joined by Steve Brown, brought to you by William Hill, the proud sponsor of the World Darts Championship. Now, Steve, unfortunately you didn't make European Tour #1 in Germany, in Hildesheim. It's easy for you to say, Steve. Yes, obviously, because you didn't make that, but obviously you've played in many of these tournaments. £115,000 up for grabs now. I just quickly mention, folks, that the qualifying, basically how it works, 48 players, and it's made up of the top 16 players from the Pro Tour or Order of Merit. There's a UK qualifier a few weeks before these events. There's 20 players qualified from there. There's a mainland Europe qualifier, 8 players qualified from there, and the host nation, so obviously this time would be Germany, and 4 players go from there. So including the top 16 Order of Merit, makes 48, and how it works is the top 16 are exempt until the second round. So in players like yourself, obviously, Steve, you didn't quite make it. Players like Chizzy didn't make it, because obviously if they're outside the top 16, the qualifying is brutal, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But there we go. So it happened. So what happened? Well, in the last 32, a couple of results I'm picking out. A good friend here, Andy Parsons, he got the last 32. He was good from Bristol. He lost 6-4 to Thornton. James Wade beat Terry Jenkins. In the last 32, that's a big match, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's on the CD.
On paper, they're all great matches, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it's difficult. Over that short format, it's difficult to pick a winner.
Yeah, and Mensa Sulovic beat Kim Hybrecht 6-4. And I've been hearing on the street that Mensa's practicing hours and hours and hours.
He beat me in an event a couple of weeks ago, Mensor. It was a good match, and I was watching his games all day actually. He's playing well. Playing
superbly well. Then we moved on to the last 16. A couple of games picking out here. Adrian Lewis beat Peter Wright for 108 plus average. Michael Van Geuren, you've heard of him before. He beat Stephen Bunton 6-0, and Mensa beat former Youth World Champion Michael Smith, so he carried on that from. That's in the last 16. So that's on the Sunday afternoon, isn't it? So this is a tough schedule. So the qualifiers have played on the Friday. On the Saturday, we've got then, if you like, the top 16 from the Order of Merit come in. They win that match, and then they've got a Sunday afternoon, and then if they get through that into the last 8, they move into the evening with a potential 3 matches.
Yeah, I mean, if you're unfortunate enough to play in the first game and win, then obviously you've probably got a 4 or 5 hour window where you've got to just sort of keep yourself busy and try and keep yourself mentally right.
Yeah. And in the evening, Gary Anderson beat Justin Pipe. I think we picked out Justin last week and tipped him up at a massive price.
Not bad.
No, that's a whitewash there, 6-0 for Gary. Adrian beat Vincent van der Voort 6-4. Michael beat Joe Mernon 6-4. And Mensa Sulovic, he beat Robert Thornton 6-3 in the last 8. Then the action really started to hot up. Anderson beat Lewis 6-2 in the semi-final. Michael beat Mensa 6-1 in the semi-final, but then we come to the final. I don't know if you've seen this, Steve, this match, but Michael Van Geuren beating Gary Anderson 6-2, just under 118 average, 167 checkout, 151 checkout. Gary's 103.78 average was just nowhere near good enough.
It's where's it going to end, isn't it? It's just every week. I mean, last weekend on a Pro Tour, I think there was a few 118 averages and 121 averages. It's just where's it going to end? It's just I can't.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so people like me, I'm happy at 105 average.
Yeah,
but that's top echelons of my game.
Yeah.
But then they're written 118s and 120s.
Yeah,
well, I'll pat the game in.
Yeah, that's well. I'd be happy with 105 average, Steve, as well. That's for sure. I'm never going to get near that, am I? You see me play. In that match, a couple of, don't bore you with stats, Steve, but in those quick 8 legs, which took about 10 minutes, 980s, 1,540 plus scores, and 1,100 plus scores. And at 2-2, Gary Anderson didn't have another shot at a double, even though he was playing fantastically well. Michael's legs were 17, that's shabby, 12, 12, 12, 10, 12.
What can I say?
What can you say? And that means that Michael's won his 4th European Tour, which is the most anyone's ever won. And he's now won, since the World Championship, 31 out of 32 matches, including the Masters, a couple of wins, of course, in the in the Premier League, and a couple of events, and of course he made the final in Wigan in the UK Open qualifiers. He has not started off the year too badly.
No, obviously he would have wanted to bounce back after the World Championships. Obviously he lost his world title, so for him to come back, I think it's not a personal thing against Gary, but obviously from Michael's own perspective, that it's a game he wanted to win badly, I'd imagine, because also he's playing in the Premier League this week, so that could play a big part in this week's game.
Yeah. Well, that is just to say fantastic. And of course, so we've mentioned the Premier League coming up in Liverpool on Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we have days 4, 5, and 6 of the UK Open qualifier, which you're setting off. You'll be going to, Steve?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm in good form.
Yeah, and we said last week that maybe around about £500.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been touted that £750 would definitely get you in. £500. I'll be disappointed if I picked at 500 this weekend and didn't qualify.
Yeah, Mr. Taylor, I'm sure will be involved. Gary will be involved a couple more days because he wasn't. He was struggling through a terrible.
I think they'll probably be alright. I think they're a bit protected now. I think they changed the rules this year.
Yeah.
I think because of their busy schedule, the top players. I mean, let's be fair. That's what people tune in to see, the top players.
Yeah. I
think they've been shielded and they're seeded for the first time this year in this event. So I think that they'll probably have a nice little run.
Nice little run, and then fingers crossed we'll see you in Butlins at the beginning of March for the televised part of the tournament. That'd be lovely.
That'd be nice. Yeah. I look forward to that.
Yeah, great stuff. Okay, Steve. Well, thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks for having me again.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us on Tungsten Tales in association with Unicorn, and brought to you by William Hill, the proud sponsor of the World Darts Championship. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. And next week, don't forget to join us again on Behind the Bar with Paul Starr, where we'll be keeping you at the sharp end of World Darts.